Welcome to Fast Effect, jumping right in with a Ancient Tomb into a Walking Ballista with one counter and a Mox Opal. Ponder here for Josh. And I think I might actually figure out how to switch this display around in real time. I'm not sure how the tournament went. This was our F&M. Another Ancient Tomb into a Mystic Forge. That's going to prompt a Force of Will. Flooded Strand. And now bolts to clear the Walking Ballista. He's going to toss that counter at Josh's face, but he's out of the way for now. And now Cavern of Souls and a Karn, and just threat after threat here with this Bomberman build. Karn able to plus, and I mean threatening just a Mycosynth Lattice on this upcoming turn. Josh really needs a creature here. Just something that can potentially clear Karn. Now, even if he has a creature, it is still not clear how this is going to play out. So Hooting Mandrills is big enough and scary enough that this could be pretty good here for Dustin. Now, he can grab an Ensnaring Bridge, buy himself a lot of time. He's only got one card left in hand, and that's going to be a must answer for Josh as well. And a Stifle to stop this Karn trigger. Whoa! That is a big Stifle right there. Preventing the Ensnaring Bridge and allowing for Karn to just be KO'd by this Hooting Mandrills. A Preordain keeps things rolling for Josh. And he just went from needing a reply to just not be completely out of the game to in commanding position here. As this Hooting Mandrills just running rampant. 4/4 Trampler. City of Traders getting replaced. And now a Brainstorm for Josh. Able to keep digging, looking to refuel that graveyard perhaps for some more monkey violence. Though oh, there we go. It is a barrel of monkeys here. Dustin's camera drops out for a second, and he is back. So these monkeys are a huge problem. Gonna make Karn pretty easy to clear as long as... I mean, Josh, I guess, ends up countering a Karn if it gets cast. A Monastery Mentor with no support is just a 2/2 human. What is that compared to these apes? It's a chump blocker. And that is going to do it. Ancient Tomb along with 4/4 Tramplers. Take that one down very quickly there for Rugg. So, for those who haven't played against it, that Karn was an incredibly dangerous threat, as it could have grabbed an Ensnaring Bridge in order to prevent any attacks for pretty much the rest of the game, and then eventually tick up enough to get a Mycosynth Lattice. And one of the things that makes him particularly grinding to play against is Karn gets cards from exile or from your sideboard. So because you play Tormod's Crypt, you get to a point where if, let's say, Josh doesn't have any main deck way of getting rid of a Ensnaring Bridge, if he doesn't have an Abrade or any type of bounce, barring burning out Dustin, which is a possibility. That is within the realm of possibilities when you're playing Rug Delver. You're going to have at least your bolts. So that's not going to take that off the table. But that said, in terms of getting through with creatures, which is almost always necessary in order for Rug Delver to win a game, they're going to have a really, really tough time. Oko is probably the main thing at this point. And a big reason to run Rug over just straight blue-red Delver is just having access to a really good answer to just about any permanent. Oko just handles some of the most problematic cards in spectacular fashion. Now, blue-red Delver has taken to running like Brazen Borrower. Nobody really wants to be totally cold to a card like Ensnaring Bridge. But it can often create a situation where your opponent is drawing to a very specific out, and a lot of the time your Chalice of Void can actually cut that off. For example, if you're playing against Blue-Red Delver and you know that the only way they could possibly get rid of an Ensnaring Bridge is a Braid or the adventure half of Brazen Borrower, Petty Theft, you get a Chalice at 2 down, and they are mostly out of the game. Bomberman, just a pretty wild deck. It can play the role of Prison. It can play a explosive combo deck. But there we saw Stifle preventing all of the best laid plans. And mulling to 5 is Dustin, but he's got the play. Let's see what he does with it. A Caracas and passing the turn. So not an ideal start for Dustin. However, Josh has the literal ideal Delver opening of turn 1 Delver of Secrets. It's what the deck is all about. He's got a Brainstorm during the upkeep to ensure that it flips. Not going to leave this one up to chance. Valuing the damage more than the card quality. Got a Ponder on the top. That's going to allow this Delver to live up to its potential and start delivering 3 damage a turn, basically 7 turns or less. That's one of the things too with the red variants of Delver. The reach can make it a little difficult to calculate at times. If you have an extra turn, you're going to want the extra turn. As the combo player, you're going to want to take as much time as you can to have as many resources when you go to combo off. Very often trying to get some counters baited, and the speed of play versus the red versions of Delver is one of the harder things to calculate, because if they have a lightning bolt or 2 or a lightning bolt and a snapcaster, all of a sudden you're just out of the game when you thought that you were setting up for those final turns. They're just taken from you with a little bit of burn. Got a Brainstorm here for Josh. Gonna look to flip this second Delver. And yeah, it's really just a race here. We've got the Monastery Mentor with a couple of monks versus a couple of flip Delvers. Oh, and the Lightning Bolts. That is brutal. So that's going to clear the original Mentor. We got a couple of tokens, but it's a pretty big ask for these guys to do their job under the circumstances. You're going to realistically like a Mystic Forge or something. Oh, does he have exactly that? So he had the Mystic Forge, but Josh has the Force of Will. That's a card that absolutely could have just ended the game on the spot. It would have potentially been possible for Dustin to burn through like 9 0 casting cost cards off the top of his deck. That could have been brutal. A Chain Lightning, showing that Dustin has even less time than he would like. Mishra's Bauble is going to allow him to draw. So he'll have 2 cards to play with on his turn. And another Hooting Mandrills, and Josh just really pouring on the pressure. Now representing 10 damage on board, so Dustin's pretty much now or never. And those monks not really great at blocking. Prowess, not the easiest thing to set up on your opponent's turn when you're playing a deck full of artifacts. It's not like you've got instants and sorceries all over the place to throw around. We've got Lotus Petal. And another Mystic Forge? Wow. This Hooting Mandrills could actually be super important as a blocker. This Mystic Forge is a devastating card. We've got 4 prowess triggers so far, representing 10 total damage. The monks starting as 1/1s. A Walking Ballista just being played for 0 here. Mox Opal. So not going to get a prowess trigger off of the Ballista. He just gets out of the way. And that's a pretty significant decision. I don't know about that. The Walking Ballista could have been played. Hooting Mandrills actually blocking one of these monks. And now a Stifle off the top. And that is going to do it. Combined with the burn, Josh is going to pick up that final game, just game 2. Not going to have a third here in the finals of this F&M. And yeah, I'm curious about, like, if that Walking Ballista, did he have enough mana to put the Ballista out at 2 LEDs and then a Lotus Petal and a Mox Opal? If he put it down with 4 counters and killed the Delvers, I wonder if that was actually possible. But a fascinating deck. Bomberman really underplayed, lots of different lines, and it feels a lot like a vintage deck. Hopefully we'll get to see a lot more of it. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.